chances are you've worked up a good sweat by now.
Welcome back to another episode of the Stretch Yourself podcast. I'm your host, Jared Chandler, and today is a very special episode. It's the premiere of Season 3. I'm doing a little solo action today to welcome in the new season, and I just want to, give you guys the new digs, show you guys around. Check this shit out, bro. This whole studio, built it all up, and this is in our new place that me and my girlfriend moved into. I'll share a little bit more on that in just a second, but welcome. Thanks for tuning in. I'm super excited. I'm super excited about this, the whole new season. We've got a lot of great guests coming up. I got a bunch of episodes in the tank. It's been great recording these episodes, and I'm very excited to, invite you in and hang out with these people these awesome people that I got to record with. Real quick, I'm just gonna put this up top that I'm going to do a different format with the podcast. I used to do like a solo intro before the episode started to like promote my dates and to, just give you a little life update and stuff. But I think what I'm going to do from now on is I'm going to do solo episodes where I give you guys recaps and I, plug my dates, stuff like that. That'll all be put into solo episodes. And the other episodes with the guests, we'll just jump right into the guests. So that's the new format for the pod. The studio, this is a one-car garage that we converted into the studio. It took a lot of help and a lot of work. So I want to thank my friends and my girlfriend for helping me put it all together. And I want to thank everybody who's already given me the opportunity to work with you in the studio. I've done a bunch of headshots in here already. We've only been here since July, so it's pretty cool that we've gotten to do so much work already. We've recorded a handful of podcasts. It's been awesome. It's been really great. So yeah, just a couple little life updates here. We moved into this new place. It's awesome. 2 bedrooms and a little backyard area. The garage is great. I got all my shit in here. It's most of the first couple of weeks I've just been organizing and like getting all my stuff put together and put where it needs to go. So I'm very happy that it all came together the way that it did. We painted this wall. First time I've painted a wall in a house that I've rented, which was dope. A lot of fun, honestly. One of the highlights of my summer, but I got lots of highlights to talk to you guys about here. New house, new studio, a little more life stuff. I went to the DSP, the Delta Sigma Phi convention over the summer. That was in August, like early August, I think, or late July, something like that. Wait, maybe it was early July. Dang. Yeah, it's been a packed summer, lots of activities, and that was really cool. It was cool to go there and just see just the sheer amount of brothers that came out and are so dedicated to the fraternity that they would come out, like alumni and the undergrads. It's a little bit, it's a big deal probably for both. But I got to see some old friends there, and it was a good dinner. I think if I go again, I'll bring Bryn along for it. It's just expensive. It's very expensive. And I don't think the nationals, the people at DSP headquarters are going to watch this, but bro, the next one's in Florida. And like, if the only reason I went to this one was because it was in Denver. And so it was really easy. And I just went to one dinner because why would I go to anything? I just went to the big dinner where they give out all the awards and stuff. It was like 3 hours long and it was good. I'm glad I went, but unless there's something more in it for me, I don't think I'll go to any of them that are out of state. Like the next one's in Florida, and as much as I want to go, like I tried to set up I've been trying to network with Phil Rodriguez, the president or whatever, and I'm trying to get him to like sponsor like a talent show or a comedy show at convention, because I think there should be more events like that. It should be more brotherhood events, in my opinion. But he's so busy. He's like running around. Like I had to chase him down and like stop him from going into his meeting room because he's gonna, get together with all the staff and celebrate the convention. And I had to literally like corner him and be like, and walk with him to the next thing and be like, bro, you said this at Founders Day. You said you wanted to do it and you didn't respond to my emails. So are we doing this or not? And like, and I have to get paid. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna. So it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to like pitch yourself and be like, hey, let me do this thing that's going to be more work for you, a lot of work for me, but also can you pay me for it? I just realized that the camera's not plugged in and we might run out of battery, but it's pretty full battery. So I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay for this shooting on HD, for this 30, 45 minutes or whatever. Anywho, it was good. I'm glad I went. It's weird just reflecting and being like, and thinking about, time I spent in the fraternity and like how, there's still parts of it that exist in my everyday life and continue to, stick to me. But so much of it, like I've been thinking back and I'm like, damn, like, I was in the fraternity from 2017 as an undergrad until 2020 when I graduated. It was only 3 years, and it's already been 5 years since I graduated. Literally. Like, it was such a small chunk of my life that had such a big impact and such a big ripple effect. But, like, so much of it is so irrelevant to me today. And, like, so much of the guys that I used to hang out with, I just don't see anymore. Some of them I still do. That's for sure. I don't know. It's just like I've just been reflecting on that, and like I think that if you're a brother and you're watching this, fucking reach out, dude. Let's hang out. And if you're not listening to this, you're lost, dude. Like I'm a little disappointed, to be honest. Not with, if you know me and you know me from that time of my life, and you're listening to this, then it's not you that I'm talking about. Okay, I'm talking about the guys who knew me for a long time, who were my supporters, who don't listen to this podcast, don't come to my shows. It's the smallest thing you can do is come to my shows. I literally posted on my Instagram for that reason, so that you can come hang out and be a part of my life. And there's a couple of guys that I still see and hang out with, and then and then the undergrad kids, like I try to get to come to my Stella's shows, and like I get that they got other shit going on, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to be more involved somehow. Like I want to rekindle some of these relationships. It's just hard. It's hard to make friends and continue to have friendships as an adult, because it just requires a special effort. Like even like the other night, I was gonna play video games with two of my buddies who from the fraternity, and like I made the text. I was like, hey, I'm not doing anything tonight. It's Saturday night. What are we doing? You guys want to play some video games? Like I just got some shit installed and let's play. And like following through on that for some reason was like challenging. I don't know why. It was just like, and it was fun. I'm glad we did it, because I got a special bond with those boys, and it's always just good to hang out with them, especially now that we don't live together anymore. I live here now with Brandon. It's just the two of us. Like, you got to put in that effort. You got to put in that work to maintain those relationships. So, it's just hard. It's just something new that I'm adjusting to. That is not a bad thing. It's just like difficult and weird, But yeah, that's all the DSP stuff from that fell out of my brain from convention. Also over the summer, I went to a wedding in Vail with my girlfriend, and we went to her brother's wedding, and it was very nice. I had a very lovely time. Really big wedding. It was one of the highlights of my summer, not just because it was so much fun and like, good family time, good family quality time. But also, dude, I got like 8 new minutes on weddings that I'm working with. 2 of them are good. Actually, two, because like I've been looping in old material too. Once I write like 6 new minutes, and then I'm like, oh, like this joke works great here, So I'm bringing back like an old joke that I really like, that I had a damper put on it a while ago, and I haven't really done much of it since. But I'm bringing it back on top of the new minutes, and 2 or 3 of those minutes are good and fun. And I'm about to get into that in a second with the comedy stuff. But yeah, the wedding was super fun, and I got new minutes. That's the whole thing for that. Yeah, so as far as, dude, before I get into comedy, I'll just say that, like, I've been getting a lot of camera work done. Dude, it's been months since I've done a podcast. Like, the last one I released was like in May or something. So, there's just a lot to catch up on and catch everybody up on. So in May, I shot my first comedy special, or not special. That'd be cool. I shot my first comedy festival, photos and video, and that was at the Vale Comedy Festival. I've been to the mountains a bunch this summer. It was pretty cool. A lot of it was for comedy, but and comedy related things. But it was cool. It's been cool to spend a lot more time in the mountains. It's really close, so it's easy to get to. I shot all those photos. It was one of the biggest projects I've been a part of, especially when it comes to photos. I shot the Vale photos in May, and then just last month, in September, I shot my first wedding on video. And Vale photos, I was it was a lot of work, but I was pretty proud of the results that came out of it. And the sheer workload that I pumped out, but also the Vale, or the wedding video, I was also really proud of that. It was my first one, so I was a little bit nervous. I was all geared up. I've been thinking about it and planning it for months, like probably since May or earlier, honestly. So I had like my cages that I got for the cameras. I had everything rigged out. I had all kinds of equipment on me, ready to go. One issue I ran into was, if we're talking about technical stuff, is like I had the Lumix on the cage. I had my monitor on there, and I couldn't figure out a way. So I figured out a way to put a screw through the cage backwards. So I had to put it on first before I put the camera in, because there was no room to do it. But I put it on, and then I need just like there's got to be like an adapter or something that I can put on there first. But anyways, just another plate or something. But I put it on, and then I screwed it into the Zoom pocket recorder. It's like it's not an H1, but it's just the smallest one. It's like handheld. It's got 2 little microphones sticking out of it. And so that was like my backup audio, because I had the shotgun mic on the Blackmagic. So that was just my handheld audio. So I didn't have room to attach a power bank to the monitor. So I had the power bank in my back pocket that was powering the monitor. And I need a battery for it, but like randomly at certain points, my monitor would just go out and cut out. So I would just unplug it, and I would just have this cord dangling from me, and I would switch over to just the monitor. And also this is a V-mount battery. I've been trying to figure this out. So like I didn't need this for the handheld, because I figured out the batteries. I have 3 batteries for the Lumix. Plug those into Lumix, and it works fine for just like short videos, right? I wanted to use this for the Blackmagic, so I just didn't have to worry about it running out of battery. And I feel like it was working for a little bit, and then like it took out like 5% battery, and then all of a sudden it just stopped giving battery to the Blackmagic. And thankfully the battery lasted on the Blackmagic long. The ceremony was like 30 minutes. So the Blackmagic lasted long enough somehow to record that. But then after that, when we moved inside, I had to plug it into the wall. And I don't know if that's because the Blackmagic, you have to either plug it in with a USB-C or like this weird special charger that's like super tiny, and you have to pull back this like piece of metal, this like sleeve. You have to pull it back, and there's 2 tiny prongs that stick out, and you plug that into the camera, into the smallest. And when it's got the cage on it, like it's got all these like all the flaps that cover the ports. The flaps have nowhere to go when the cage is on it. So you're like trying to hold this back and plug it in with like the smallest precision. Like I need like a pair of pliers or something to like hold it. and install it. It's ridiculous. So like I got that. It was a D-tap connector, the special charger D-tap to plug into this, but it's so new. I don't know what, but like I sat in and tried to practice plugging it in. I sat here trying to plug it in the studio for like 20 minutes before I gave up. And like the old one still works. And then I realized the USB-C will charge it. So I was like, why am I wasting time with this weird ass charger when a USB-C will do it? So I thought, okay, fine. So I plug it into the USB-C into this. I thought it would work fine, and then it stopped working. So I don't know. If anybody knows anything about Blackmagics, let me know, because I don't know if the USB-C actually will charge while it's recording or not. But anyway, so that was like the biggest setback that I had. But other than that, like I was fully prepared. I had all kinds of gear and like shout out Joe Diaz for lending me his side handle so I didn't have to buy a fucking side handle. Honestly, I didn't need to buy. I'm glad I bought a new light, which I don't have a C stand for, so I'm not using it today. I'm using the panel video lights. But I bought a new like studio photography light with like a soft box, and then I bought a snoot that's not magnified. Okay, so you can buy it's called a snoot. It goes over the light and funnels. It's like a spotlight. It funnels the light so it is in one spot. I got one that is just, a piece of metal that you just clip on there and it funnels the light. But you can buy magnified ones where you can change how big the spotlight is, but those cost like $200. So bought the light, got the snoot, because I knew I was going to need additional lighting during the dances and during the speeches. So I got that. That was an investment. It's also great. It's been great for headshots. So, it paid off. Already paid for itself. But then I bought the cage for the Blackmagic because I thought I was going to need it. I thought I was going to need to attach shit to it. Not the case. Didn't need it at all. Didn't need the cage. What else did I get? I don't know. I got a bunch of shit for it, and I didn't end up needing all of it. But I was prepared. So overall, I think the footage turned out well. I think that I handed it off to be edited by the groom. And there's a couple of spots that I was like probably a little shaky on and probably didn't catch it as well as I could have. But the B-roll and the reactions to the ceremony and all the other footage I got will make up for that in the edit, I think. So, yeah, dude. Oh, and I dropped my Nikon in August. Biggest lesson to me, like, just strap up your camera. Okay, just strap it to yourself. Okay, if you got a wrist strap or a body strap, fucking use it, especially if you're walking with your camera. Okay, if you need to take it off real quick, set it up, take a shot, put it back on the strap, that's fine. But me, I was walking with the Nikon, and it's a small camera, so I was holding it, and my friends were picking me up to take me to a show, and I was carrying too much shit, and I walked out to the front, and I dropped it on the ground. I dropped it on the ground, and the shutter mechanism was broken. The shutter wouldn't go cleanly. So I had to take that into repairs, and I wasn't even sure if it was possible to be fixed. But it took 2 months because I had to diagnose it, do the diagnostic, and then they realized in Mike's camera in Boulder, they did the diagnostic, confirmed they couldn't fix it by themselves, so they sent it to Nikon. Don't know where Nikon is. It's probably far away. And then Nikon had to fix it. So the whole process took 2 months. Took about 8 weeks. Thankfully, it was a little bit under budget, so that was good. And they fixed it. So thank God. Shout out Mike's camera. But yeah, that was such a low for me. So I've been running with the Lumix and the Blackmagic. Blackmagic on video, Lumix on photo, which has been fine. It's just like the Blackmagic I still don't fully understand, and the settings are weird as fuck. It's a very manual camera. So, I've been playing with the settings with the Blackmagic in different rooms, and some stuff has been turning out really great, and other stuff has been like, okay. So, I don't know. whatever. At least we got it back. At least that's a win for us. Yeah, man. So that's all the camera stuff. We're cooking along. Comedy-wise, things have been busy as well. A little bit less busy last month. I was doing a lot more photo stuff, doing a lot more pod prep, which I was happy for. I was happy for less stage time and more camera time. This month is kind of the opposite. I have a lot of comedy stuff happening, and I've already gotten some side gigs for camera stuff, which has been nice. I've already shot like a handful of shows and some headshots, but definitely a little bit more comedy focused this month. Over the summer, I started a new monthly show at Stella's Coffee House in Denver on South Pearl Street. We've done 4 shows now, and 5th one is coming up, right? June, July, August, September. Yeah, 4. So those have been great. Really fun. I mean, any show that goes longer than 2 shows is good, is a good sign. It takes a lot of work. I didn't put in the effort today that I needed to for it, but I'll probably be doing that tomorrow and this week, if I can. It's just a lot of work. It's just a lot of, because like it's all me, at least at Stella's and Greeley I have, that's kind of funny. They're both called Stella's. Neither of them have anything to do with each other, but somehow I run 2 rooms called Stella's. But that's just been a very fun talking point for a while, the last couple of months. But yeah, at least at Stella's Pinball, like they just kind of, like I just show up. Like I book what I book, but they market, they run the room. They already have a room, and the staff helps me out a ton at Stella's Pinball. This one, it's kind of all me. The staff helps me. The event coordinator helps me set up and everything, and puts the stuff that I give him on the Instagram. But for all the marketing, like the ticketing, the hosting, the photos, the getting people in the door, all that's on me. So it's been tough, but it's been fun, and hoping to keep that going for as long as I can. And maybe we'll make it a weekly, and I'll have 2 fucking weeklies on my plate. Who knows, dude? A lot of booking and producing efforts, like you can do 2 days of booking and 2 days of marketing. And as long as you check the boxes, like that's all it is. But you have to do it every month or every week that you do it. You know what I mean? But you can book out 3 to 6 months in 2 days if you just send all the DMs. And you can fill the room if you hand out flyers, if you put up your ads, if you share it, you get the venue to share it, you get your artists to share it. If you do all the things in the last 2 days before the show, in my experience, that is when you sell the most tickets to local shows, at least. So who knows? Maybe we'll pull it off. Maybe we will just keep it a monthly for now, because I got so much on my plate. Also, over the summer, we did the last Marmalade show in the Waffle Iron. I got the whiteboard put up from our days at the Waffle Iron at our old house. Kind of bittersweet, like it was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did 4 house shows that I'm really proud of that we did. I'm also really proud of the fact that we recorded and produced sort of like a little mini special kind of thing. It was like a film showcase. So we filmed all the sets for the Marmalade show, and I chopped them up, and I had like all the microphones set up. We had the 2 PAs set up. We had the stage. We had the lights. We had everything set up. We produced the heck out of it, and I chopped it up, and then I gave everybody their sets, which nobody made clips from this year. But I, put it all together and edited every single one, edited the whole thing the best I could. And then I put it on YouTube, and I was really proud of that as well. We're at like 20 views right now, but I'm just glad that I had that experience, got that under my belt. And it was really fun. It was really fun to do another show in the backyard, but it was just really sad to know that it was the last one that we were going to do there. Maybe we'll continue to do it just do like a pop-up show somewhere and just keep the Marmalade Show going, just a little summer activities show. And, my birthday, we used to do a New Year's show. We did 2 New Year's shows, and I would like to do that too, but boy, is it just so much work, bro. It was a lot of work. Thankfully, I had my buddy Pat to help me out with that, so shout out to Pat. I also got to do another run at the Rialto. I think I already talked about best selling on the pod back in May, and then I did my most recent run up to Casper at the Rialto with Alex Dragovich. Shout out Alex. That was so much fun. He came from New York, and I was with him the whole step of the way. So I helped book him, get him in the door, and he came and stayed with me in our new place. That was on the calendar before we moved in, so it was a big deal to me. And it was just so cool to have someone who was, we had a lot in common. And we're both tall, and we're both been doing stand-up for a little bit now. And he's a little bit further along than me. So he's a successful touring comic in New York, who lives in New York, So it was cool to, kind of have like a mentor in a way. I don't know if he sees it that way, but I kind of saw it that way. But he stayed with me. He worked from the coffee shop across the street, and then we would go do shows. So we did 4 shows. 1, 2, 3, 4. We did 4 shows together at Ratio, and then at Stella's, and then 2 shows at Rialto. And that was some very valuable stage time for me. And it was just a lot of fun. It was cool. Now we're homies. So that was cool. And we got along really well. And it's just something that I've wanted for a long time out of comedy, is to like tour with somebody. Even though it was locally and even though it was only for 5 days and whatever, like it was just cool to open for somebody like that and to just spend so much time with them and get close to them while they're here. So shout out Alex. That was really fun, man. Thanks for doing it. And I got him on the pod. He's gonna be on an upcoming episode here. Also, I'm starting to wind down here, but last thing I wanted to update, another highlight of the year of the last couple of months was I got to volunteer at High Plains Comedy Festival for the 5th or 6th time. 2017, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. It's by the math, it sounds like 6 times. I don't know if I did it in 2021. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I started doing it again in 2022. Or maybe I don't know. They had to skip COVID. They had to. Right? Yeah, I don't know. But that's what the math says. It sounds weird to say it because I can't believe I've volunteered that many times, because it doesn't feel like I have. It feels like I've only done it 4 times maybe. But I have. And it was a good year for me, voluntarily speaking. I felt like I felt more connected to the scene and more valuable at the festival this year than I have in any previous years. Because I got to stage manage. That was my job for 3 shows, and wasn't working the door, wasn't doing hospitality, wasn't just standing in a hallway watching the door. Like I was lighting people, and I got to go up on stage and read the announcements and kick off the show. Or I got to speak from the God mic. And I was in the green rooms, like asking comics when they wanted their light and stuff. So that was really cool. That was cool. And I got to, I felt comfortable. I felt comfortable shaking hands with comics. Like a lot of people who came through, like I already knew them, and I got to just be like, hey, what's up? And like, they didn't know me, but like a lot of them do, but like a few people from like New York and stuff, like I already knew them. I saw them on Dragovic's pod or whatever, and I would like shake their hands and be like, and they're like, oh, hey, I'm so-and-so. And I go, hey, I'm Jared, and I felt comfortable. I didn't do karaoke. I didn't go to the after party. I tried to get in, but I got invited, but I wasn't on the list. But you know what? Fuck that. Fuck the after party. It's like, who cares? Who fucking cares, bro? It's like, it's all the same people that I see all the time. I've had parties at my own house. with comedians that I respect and like. So why do I need an after party for a festival that I wasn't invited to be on? And you know what? Like maybe I'm not saying that like, oh, I'm definitely going to get on next year, but I felt like just with the momentum I have and like the way things are going and the people who got on this year, I'm like, damn, like my chances seem pretty good. However, the runners and producers of the festival have been all like, oh, we might not do it again next year. And if they're already saying shit like that, it's either done, they're not doing the festival anymore, which I wouldn't be surprised if they made that announcement in like fucking January or whatever. Or they're going to do it one more time, do a victory lap, and then they're going to be like, okay, this time we're actually done. And then they're going to bring it back in like 5 years or whatever. So who gives a fuck? You know, it's just one of those things where because so many people, myself included, I want to be included on that festival because it's a stamp of approval from the old guard. That's probably the best way I've ever put it. The High Plains Comedy Festival is a stamp of approval from the old guard of comedy. The guys who have been in Denver comedy, who built it on their backs, who paved the road. They've been doing it for 20 years or whatever. The festival's been going for 13 or 14 years. Or 12. It's been 12 years. And if you're a local and you get put on that festival, it's like, oh, okay, I'm approved. I'm in the club. You know, I'm in the cool kids club. And that's why it's such a big deal to so many people. That's why people, you know, get all mad on Facebook and they'll post like, "Oh, I should be on it," or whatever. They'll make jokes. And I've never taken that mindset. I've felt it before and been like, why am I not on this, you know? But then I also look at myself and I go, you know what? Maybe I'm not ready. Or maybe I'm just not what they're looking for. And that's okay. Because you know where I am valued, you know where I am accepted is at the shows that I produce. I get booked on plenty of other shit too. It's not just the stuff that I put myself on. You know, like I'm doing it. By the way, the runners of the festival, they book themselves on their own festival. So why is that frowned upon? You know, why is that like, oh, you're not as successful because that's why they started the festival, is so that they could give themselves that opportunity and give that to Denver. Because they didn't think Denver was getting enough credit. They didn't think there was enough stage time to go around. They didn't think that they didn't think that Denver had a festival and it should have. They needed a thing. So they built it. You know, and I'm doing that for myself. I run a weekly show in Greeley that is getting bigger and bigger. We're bringing bigger acts to Greeley now. So much so that I can take a step back, finally. It took 2.5 years of me busting my ass to build this thing. And then finally now they're booked up enough and that they don't need me there every week. So I can focus on my own shit here. And I have my own monthly now. I go up to Casper and I get paid more money to do stand-up in Casper than I do here. I can feature up there. You feel me? And it's only a matter of time if I keep getting better the way that I am, that I'll be a headliner. It's taking longer than I ever would have wanted, but I'm still following the track. And today, and I'll get into this in a sec, but I'm looking ahead at my week and I'm like, damn, bro, like I got a lot of editing left to do. The camera shit pays better than comedy. And I'm good at it. You know, I'm getting better at it. And a lot of it's your gear, but a lot of it's your eye and the way you use your gear and how resourceful you are. And I'm very resourceful. So like all the camera stuff just like meshes perfectly with my workflow and my work ethic and my personality. So that's been going well, you know, and it's also the timing is great. Like people need more camera people because there's not a lot of them working around Denver right now. Compared to how many comedians there are, you know what I'm saying? There are a ton of comedians that are working and not a ton of people who can work a camera. So, and like stand up is, and like I didn't want to write today. I didn't want to think about my act, but I sat down and I was like, all right, let's figure it out. Let's continue to get better. It was uncomfortable, but I made it happen. And I can check that box, But my whole point is that like everyone makes a huge deal about this festival and then it might go away. So it's like, what were you doing in the meantime? Who are you as a comic if you don't have this festival to be like, you're one of the big ones, you're one of the best ones, you know what I mean? So that's what I think about now, especially that, like, that's what I've always kind of kept in my head and try to keep that mindset is like, don't attach your value or your worth as a comedian to any one show, any one festival. And I've been doing that with Stella's the entire time as well, where it's like, hey, this could go away. This could go away and I won't have those dates anymore to get on stage, but I have other stuff to fall back on. There's always something else behind the thing that I'm currently doing. So I don't take that for granted, and I'm just going to keep working, keep getting better. That's always the answer. If you're ever not feeling good about where you are creatively, just keep working and like take the value and the experience and the journey for what it's worth and take joy and pleasure in that. This, like the studio and everything I've been building for the last 4 months, that's the joy that I've been producing. Like, that's why I volunteer at the festival, because like I just take joy in being there and being around it. You feel me? So figure out what makes you happy and take joy in that, not the accolades that come with it, because that will come. You got the rest of your life to get those. That's the great thing about creativity and work, is that for as long as you can stand up and bring yourself to do the thing, you can keep doing it. Okay? There's no timeline on this shit. And it doesn't mean anything. Whatever stuff people throw at you doesn't matter. I just watched the Emmys not too long ago. Emmys are just a thing. And nobody remembers. No one's like, oh, remember in 2025 when so-and-so got the Emmy for this? It's just for you. So make your own shit. Make your own awards. Be proud of what you've already accomplished. That's what I tell myself, at least. And I am. I'm proud of how much stuff I've done. I've been busy as hell, and I contribute. I help people a lot. These photos, like the reels, like the camera work, all this stuff. I'm just so happy that I can be useful. That people find the work that I do to be useful and valuable. And stand up is just for funsies. You know what I mean? I gotta make my living. And I won't talk about work, because one day work won't be relevant anymore, because I'll be making my own stuff. Let's check my fantasy scores. This week I got absolutely obliterated and dominated in fantasy. Wow. Great. One of my running backs was questionable. That's not good. And he only scored me 13 points. I got destroyed. I got absolutely destroyed. So I need my defense to score 40 points. You think I'll win? Anywho, folks, I'm very excited for this season. We got tons of great episodes ahead for you. Lots of exciting people I've wanted to have on the pod for a very long time. And we got a new logo. We got a new, cover art. We got a new song, new guests. It's a very exciting time. Let me know if you want headshots, and please come out and see my comedy dates coming up very soon. This week, I'm doing new talent night on Tuesday, but this comes out on Wednesday. Come see me at the Comedy Fort on Thursday, the 9th. I'm going to be opening for Drew Montana out of Philly, and then we're going to be at the Black Buzzard in Denver on the Friday. Saturday, the 11th, I'll be at the Barrel Room. These are all comedy sets, by the way. Next week, I'm going to be doing inventory for my job. And somehow I'm also going to pull off going to Stella's on the 16th in Greeley. I'm doing Spirit Hounds in Lyons on the 17th. And then I'm doing Stella's Coffee Shop again in Denver on the 19th. And Stella's Pinball in Greeley on the 23rd. Stella's Pinball in Greeley on the 30th. Maybe not the 23rd. There might be something else that day. But regardless, folks, you mean the world to me. This is very therapeutic for me. And I hope that's also entertaining. Maybe you don't give a shit, but this is what podcasts are. So if you're here, I'm assuming you are a fan of the pod and that you enjoy hearing me talk and you enjoy the guests that I bring on and that you're along for this journey with me. I might be looking back on this pod in 30 years. Think about that. I'm almost 30 years old. One day I'll be 60. Hopefully. One day I'll be 60 years old and I'll be looking back on these podcast episodes and I'll be like, God damn. Remember when we were in the garage, bro? Remember when we were in the garage and we were just being silly and we were just like, we thought we were never going to make it. We thought that we'd be here forever. We thought that, we weren't going to reach these goals because we had a healthy amount of doubt that, hey, maybe this is all there is. Maybe this is all it'll ever be. And I'm okay with that because I do it for the fun of it. But you know what? I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that we're just going to continue to get better. More opportunities are going to come our way. We're just going to continue to expand and we're going to do it with our friends. So if you're here with me on the ground floor, if you've ever gotten headshots from me, if you've ever been on my show, if you've ever booked me on your show, thank you so much. Thanks for being on the pod. Thanks for tuning in. And I love you. Stay stretchy, folks.